Hello and welcome to a little Dropbox tutorial on backing up your pictures. I'm going to show you a couple different things you can do here. This is kind of a practical thing with Dropbox. Even if you don't share things, you just want to have things backed up off-site in case the worst happens and something goes wrong with your computer, or you have a catastrophic failure like a fire, which we went through. So let's open up our Dropbox, and I'm going to make a folder here, called iPhoto pictures. Now, depending on how big your library is, and you can find this out by, let's look at all our pictures. I have 11 of them. I'm going to select them all. So I went Command A, so every picture is selected, and then I get info. This is 16.5 meg. I know I can update or back up all these files, so I'm just going to select them all. Now, a couple ways to do this. One is you can drag it to that iPhoto pictures and just drop them, and then that will be added to that folder and it will be backed up automatically. Another way is you can export these pictures. You can do them as JPEGs, full size. You can give it titles and keywords, whatever you want to do, and just hit export and find the pictures folder that you want them in. So let's go into your Dropbox, iPhoto pictures, and it will export them all into that particular folder. So there's two ways to export them. Drag them, which I find easier, or do the export option if you want them in a different format or something. And you can see this photo picture is syncing now with Dropbox by that icon. Now, another way to back up your iPhoto, and this is a pretty slick way if you have the space or you want to buy the space to do it. Some people, their pictures are everything. You don't want to lose those. If we go into our pictures folder, so let's open up a new window. We're going to go into our picture folder, and you should have something called iPhoto Library. This iPhoto Library is where all your pictures are in iPhoto. At least 99% of the time they are. And you see the size is 28.8 meg. So mine's really small for this. What we could do is grab this iPhoto Library and bring it into the Dropbox folder, and that will share my whole complete library with Dropbox. And since the library is in the Dropbox folder, it will continue to share them no matter what you do and you add them. The only thing you have to watch out for is space. You only have 2 GB of space for free with Dropbox, so if you go over that, you're not going to be backing them up. You can buy more, and it's a great deal, and that might be the way to go. So we can have this photo library in the Dropbox folder. Now, the next time you launch iPhoto, it won't find your library because we moved it. So we go ahead and open it, and it's going to say, which library do you want to use? I have a couple of them on this computer, so it found both of them. The first one it found was in my particular user folder, so users, support, documents, iPhoto library. That is not the file path I want to use. This one here, if I select it, users, support, Dropbox, iPhoto, that's the one I want to use right there. If it didn't show up, I could go other and find it. So I choose it. It's working off that Dropbox folder now. And so if I add something to it, let's add these 3. We'll say import my duplicate because I really don't care on this particular one. Now in Dropbox, it will actually resync it, and you can see the sync icon. So your photos will always be backed up as long as you have the space. So it's a great way to back up your pictures without even thinking about it on the cloud. So that's a little iPhoto trick to backing up your pictures. Any questions on that, let me know. You can do the same thing with iTunes. except usually it's not needed as much because everything you bought is backed up with iTunes. But it's nice to be able to have that file on Dropbox also, but you usually need a lot more space for your music. Any questions? Let me know. Thanks.